Namaste and a warm welcome to all of you to the Economic Times Sustainable Organizations 2022 with a very important theme for the program, which is to do with recognizing excellence in sustainable world. So it's time to give a head start to this program, and to do so we have the keynote address by the renowned Claire O'Neill, Managing Director, Climate and Energy, World Business Council for Sustainable Development, on building back better for all, anchoring the 2030 agenda in development plans and strategies.
Welcome to all the participants in this really important conference. And I wanted to share with you a mixed report on where we are in the global political leadership when it comes to driving decarbonisation and sustainability. And the truth of it is that we are facing a climate crisis that is already starting to make itself known in terms of record heat in so many parts of the world, drought issues, concerns over crop yields. And this is even before we added in the current shocks we're facing in terms of food security and energy security. And we have a daily measure of the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. It's called the Keeling measurement, that we are at record levels of carbon dioxide at 421.8 parts per million. But when I look at the situation, not only do I see the challenges, the concern over this rising CO2 level, I see something else, and that is a massive economic opportunity. We know already that there are enormous spending programs, whether it's on renewable energy build-outs, such as we see so dramatically in India, whether it's investing in electric vehicles, 4-, 3-, or 2-wheelers, whether it's building new energy grids so that we can always capture renewable energy wherever it is made and also transmit it to where it is needed. And this is where I think I want to really congratulate so many of the companies who will be attending this conference. Companies are setting clear targets. They're working out very creative ways to be zero carbon, or in some cases, carbon negative. I'm going to congratulate in advance those of you who are winning awards and encourage all of you attending to think about how you can set your own sustainability metrics and be very clear about the success that you're delivering. Thank you.
Well, it looks like it's that time of the evening wherein we gear up for a very interesting fireside chat coming your way on championing profitable and sustainable business. Most importantly, when we look at it as a fact that it's much more than just a statement. So we're going to invite our set of speakers to come together and indulge in this fireside chat here.
It's my pleasure to be here today to discuss sustainability and sustainable organizations. Aditya, what are the top 3 things that you think that need to be done to actually make India far more sustainable than what we are today?
I would put apart from the environment portion of it, I think the biggest one is social inclusion. We are a more inequitable country today than we were 20 years ago. And in 20 years from now, I think we're going to be even more inequitable. India has 750 districts. If you take the bottom 112 districts, these are called aspirational districts. The Prime Minister announced a massive program for that. So in places like this, markets haven't yet reached, MSMEs haven't yet reached, factories haven't yet reached, roads are just reaching. So if I don't have that opportunity, then the trickle down doesn't reach me. And that's the essential problem. These are the places from which people are coming to our homes in Bombay, Delhi, and Bangalore to work. They are exporting labor because there's no import of financial capital and import of industry into those districts. So I think the trickle down is not going to happen in these districts unless there is finally local opportunity for them to grow and develop, and that is the constraint.
And now I want to ask Rajesh, what is his thought on what companies need to do to become more sustainable and to look at net zero in a more serious way?
I believe sustainability is not a standalone agenda, actually, right? So you need to have an ecosystem. You need to create an ecosystem where organizations need to work, and specifically customers and partners need to collaborate to make sure that the sustainability agendas are met, right? You can't do it alone. So one is creating a larger ecosystem is critical. Second, obviously, is continuous governance around the metrics and measurement around the metrics, right? Airtel group level, we have 2050 as an committed net zero program. For Nextra being the largest contributor of that goal, We have taken an aggressive target of 2031 to become a net zero. And a lot of efforts are going on to drive that agenda for us.
Thank you so very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, it's also time to deep dive into our next session. And this is where I will be indulging in a conversation with someone whose efforts resulted in the world's largest beach cleanup project. We have with us none other than Afroz Shah, lawyer, ocean lover, and UN Environment's champion of the earth. What are some of the areas that you think India, or for that matter, we as Indians, are really good at? On one side, if you can tell me that, you know what, this is where we are going forward, and this is where we need improvement.
First of all, I must preface my talk by saying that we are too many on this planet. 7 billion of us. I don't know how much this planet Earth can sustain and for how long. Having said that, beach cleanup is misunderstood most of the time, as I must point out to you. People think beach cleaning means clean beaches. Unfortunately, or fortunately for us, what is happening at the ground is there's a huge mass of citizens who are voters and who are consumers. Vital role both of them play. And they make their choices when it comes to voting for people up and buying products and services. They are the one actually who are creating pollution at this point of time. Let me tell you honestly. When you go to a slum, Mumbai has 60% slum. And look at each household, the amount of garbage they generate, the solid waste, the liquid waste, and it all goes into your river. Mumbai has 5 rivers. None of them have remained as river. I mean, it's a tragedy for a city like Mumbai. And I feel extremely worried as a citizen that we have to face this and what will happen to the next generation. I think if we talk about solutions which are evidence-based, which are coming directly from the ground, and if it's showing you some trend and then you work on it, I think I'll watch for it, and we Indians must, based on our policies, based on evidence. So I strongly believe as a nation, every policy, law in this country must be driven by evidence and not ipsy-dixit, as we lawyers call it. And second major problem is a lot of us are not at the ground level. That has created a huge knowledge gap. The information which must go from the ground about a problem and the possible solution, so that these 2 areas we need to do more, and we need to do it properly and correctly. We individuals must step up. If you go back home, I always tell you, your garbage defines who you are in this 21st century. If you open your garbage and if it's wrong, you are unfit for this planet. So that's very important. But having said that, you need good policies, you need collaborations, you need everybody to join hands. These are problems which, as a species, we are facing, as a human race, we'll have to collaborate. Collaboration is the key in this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Afroz. Thank you so much. On that wonderful note, let's also march ahead towards our next segment of the program. And this is where we will try understanding how the C-suite is seizing the ESG opportunity.
I would like to start with you, Prabodha. Why sustainability is important to your organization?
Sustainability is important to organizations in the sense that sustainability is important for business itself. When we talk about having sustainability ingrained to business, what I mean is that as a business we need to do everything right so that the business continues to do business. And when I say everything right, that means right from productions to how you manage your environment, to how you manage your society, how you manage your expectations from the governance process, everything. So that is how I think is sustainability defined for business and why it is important for the business.
My sister is a designer, so she said something very interesting. She said, most of the sustainability challenges are because of poorly designed products and the wrong choice of materials. Do you think that's true? Would anybody like to comment on that?
Yeah, I think I fully endorse that statement of your sister. Not only that, the millennials needs to understand not only about sustainability, but they need to preach. See, lifestyles won't change, but what the millennial is demanding is you change your way of operating. You need to come out with innovative solutions so that you are not harming. You leave this world unharmed for us. That's why they started asking for the traceability also. They started asking where from it is coming, how it is being manufactured, where is it being manufactured.
How would you transform a large organization that already has products and services that are in a particular area?
Well, I think so in today's context, when you've got a large amount of digitization, technology is changing every 6 months, I don't think so it is difficult to change your business models. Today, renewables is the cheapest cost of power. It is purely because of those evolution of design. Human mind will adapt to new things and we will come out with new ideas. But more important on sustainability is that we cannot continue to dig that mother earth, sorry to say, but steel. So the 3 R's of reduce, reuse, recycle has to be the mantra if we have to be sustainable.
Sandeep, what do you think is the future of sustainability? Are there any opportunities that are big that you see on the horizon that are likely to actually transform things in a fundamental way?
One aspect which all of us have to realize is that COVID brought about some changes which we couldn't have ever presumed. If we are not going to change today, some nature earth is going to say that, this is the reality and that's a time when we'll change. Technology can help all the other sectors to, one is smoothen the process towards ESG. Tech Mahindra has come out with an ESG platform, and we are looking at how do we reach out to various sectors and see that they can use that and analyze that. So AI, we're also looking at how metaverse can help, because that is all the places where your emissions would get saved. So these are the places where I think so from a technology aspect, we are now catering to all the other sectors, saying that we will be your partners, take us, this is the way to the success.
I want to turn my attention to On from Lodha and just ask him that what is the role that technology plays in the cities that you're setting up?
If you look at our Palava city, that's a smart city with a lot of technological interventions. At one end, you can collect the data and analyze. And with the same data, you can also engage with your stakeholder to inform and make aware. So both these things are actually enabled through technology. I think in all aspects, from analysis, post-occupancy analysis, from fundamental design analysis, from performance benchmarking analysis, technology is everywhere.
To my mind, we can do a lot of things, but within ourselves, we need to drive this change to create a better, cleaner, greener, and a more equitable India. Thank you so much.
I must inform you all that in our efforts to recognize the organizations who are working towards achieving sustainability goals and Agenda 2030, we at ET Edge, along with our knowledge partner, Futurescape, will highlight the success stories of such brands who have made a name for themselves with valuable sustainable initiatives, ESG mandates, and policies towards net zero. In fact, we'll also be launching the Economic Times Sustainable Organizations 2022 Coffee Table book today, which will bring together the success stories of the organizations that have incorporated sustainability in their corporate DNA, and also working not only to enhance the financial health of the planet, but also to enhance the environmental health of the planet. In order to do the felicitations, we'll be having the presence of a renowned actor of the Indian film industry, also the UNEP Goodwill Ambassador and United Nations Secretary General's advocate, who will be gracing her presence here. Can we have a smiling round of applause to match up of the smiles of none other than Dia Mirza. Dia, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the program with the unveiling of the coffee table book that actually highlights all the success stories of the brands. Here we go. So firstly, thank you, Dia, for joining us. You are a sustainability crusader. Your message to all the corporations, all the individuals who have joined us this evening.
Climate change affects everyone, everywhere. We see it occurring every day around us. The intensity and frequency of floods, of forest fires, of drought, is there for everyone to see. And of course, we are faced by a triple planetary crisis, one of climate change, the second of pollution, and the third of biodiversity loss. So it's impacting our health, it's impacting our jobs, it's impacting everything. If we don't act now, we really can't expect to have a future that is safe, peaceful, healthy, and it's up to us to fix it. The one thing that I would appeal to is everyone's conscience, and the one thing that I hope that we can all achieve within our lifetime, not just our lifetime, but within this decade, is faster and swifter action, because that is truly the need of the hour.
On that inspiring note, it's time to march ahead and get started with the felicitation, something that we've been looking forward to this evening. Let's get started by felicitating the first brand for the evening here, Ball Beverage Packaging. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we applaud and hear it for SR. Let's hear it for Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Please put your hands together for Ind Infraweight. Let's also applaud for the next brand that's being felicitated here. We're talking about Jindal Steel and Power. Let's hear it for JSW Cement Limited. Let's hear it for JSW Steel Limited. Now let the applause only elevate higher and higher as it's time to felicitate Kone Elevators India. Let's hear it for Nextra by Airtel. Can we have a huge round of applause for We Trans India Limited? I'd like to thank you, Diya, for joining us, for felicitating these beautiful organizations, and for also sharing your thoughts. Thank you so much again.
Energy has been the center of the climate change, and therefore energy has to be a solution to climate change. At a JSW Group, we are aggressively looking at using renewable energy in all our operations. See, for example, in JSW Energy, our objective is to have 80% energy generations from renewable sources, and in JSW Steel, we want to decarbonize steel production process by using renewable energy as one of the levers. The climate change mitigation has been the center stage for the hard to abate sector like JSW Steel, and we have already committed to reduce our emission from 2005 till 2030 by 42%, and that is in line with India's NDC, and we are committed to meet the Paris Accord, and our strategy is to follow the IEA's sustainable development scenario. To achieve that, renewable energy usage and reduction in the coal usage is one of our strategies.
Okay, at SR, ESG is the core to our philosophy today, and we are transitioning all our business to a more green alternatives. We are trying to invest into all the businesses which will decarbonize and change the sector landscape to much more cleaner fuels. SR is very heavily investing now into hydrogen, renewables, bioenergy, natural gas, and battery storage.
ESG, everybody knows how important it is worldwide. You know, it's a buzzword, it's being talk of the town. Our industry, logistic industry, is one of the, unfortunately, it's one of the prime polluters because of the inherent nature of the product, you know, like what we have trucks and vehicles and all these, which consume a lot of fossil fuels and all this. That's why, you know, if we do something, it really helps the, reduce the pollution and make the world more sustainable. We at VTrans, we have got several initiatives, which helps. We have got small baby steps and some big steps also. Like first to start with, we have converted a large fleet of our vehicles into CNG. We have water harvesting, rainwater harvesting at our places. We have got tree plantation drives. We have tied up with a NGO, which is into not only greening the earth, but even providing livelihood to small people, fruits and vegetable farming.
In India, we have a lot of focus on sustainability. If you go to our factory, which is the largest elevator factory in South and Southeast Asia, we have a very green environment. Number one, we have all recycled water that we use. Everything inside the plant, the lights, etc., they're all very natural lights. So we are very sustainable that way. We also play a major role in terms of how our employees behave towards sustainability. So there's a lot of training that we do for our employees. But when you see our elevators, we have a lot of innovation that's built in. But sustainability is one of the things we work on, saving power, etc. And then digitalization is the other big thing. We have all our elevators that we are now trying to connect through IoT. And it's all becoming very digital. So we can actually monitor the elevators sitting in our technology center, and it's predictive maintenance, so that the elevator, even before it fails, we know what's going to happen, and then we go and fix it. And more customers are taking it even for their existing elevators that they have.
For Ball Corporation, sustainability is our business strategy. By enhancing our product stewardship and our societal impact, we are creating value for our shareholders, people, and the planet we live in. On our path to net zero prior to 2050, we aim to achieve 90% global recycling rate and a minimum of 85% recycled content in our products. We are also planning to use renewable energy across all of our operations by 2030, and 100% of aluminum sourced will be from sustainable sources.
We are one of the green cement companies in India, primarily because we use the waste coming from the steel plant as a raw material. We also co-process a lot of plastic waste, RDF, and the other industrial hazardous waste into the cement manufacturing process. And that's the focus for us, to work on ways and means to reduce the carbon footprint in the cement manufacturing process.
Being part of the data center industry, there is a huge amount of pressure on natural resources like energy and water. For us, sustainability cut across our design, delivery, and operations. We have clear focus areas. First one is energy efficiency, where we try and maximize the digital output for each unit of energy consumption. The second important agenda for us has been usage of renewable energy. Our current consumption is about 35% in terms of green share. We are looking at taking it to 50% by next 12 months. We also have an aggressive target of being net zero by FY 2031.
Our initial goal is that we want to reduce our CO2 emission from existing 2.5 ton per ton of steel making to a level of about 1.8 ton of CO2 per ton of steel making. This will be done in next 3 to 4 years time. Finally, in a decade time from now, that is about 2032 or maybe 2033, we will be in a position to cut it down to 50% by introducing more and more DRI plants instead of blast furnaces, and then we will go for 100% hydrogen utilization, so that we can be a net zero CO2 emitting company. Now we are adding a facility at our Angul plant. We already have a coal gasification unit. So we will be converting our coal gas, that is syngas, into hydrogen, and we will also be converting our coke oven gas into hydrogen. Once the hydrogen gas comes in, then we will be in a position to inject this hydrogen to blast furnaces also. This will reduce the overall CO2 footprint.
As an organization, Infrared is committed to the sustainability agenda. Being a key player in the road sector, we are cognizant of the contribution we can make, and it's been a constant endeavor from our side to contribute to the society and the environment. I believe profit has a unidimensional perspective, and one of the key things for this entire sustainability is the measure. And if you have your data recording accurate, I believe that would help set the course at par, and then you could improve from there. For us, obviously growth is important, and we are somewhere a representation of the country as well, because we are in the infrastructure space, and how good our infrastructure is reflects well on the country too. It has a cascading effect on the society in general, on other organizations, other companies, and I think we focus more on that. We try to be, bring in the best quality on our roads. We try to ensure that we have the best safety, we have the best awareness of people around, so that we can create an impact in their lives.